Dear students, let us look into a video lecture on web technology and its applications. This is the course overview and course outcomes. So we'll now look on cascading style sheet selectors, which is a section 4 of this particular chapter. So we have already seen the declaration of CSS rules. In that, the part of that is selector, which tells the browser that the elements will be, which elements of HTML will be affected. So CSS selectors can be individual elements or multiple HTML elements also, or the elements may belong to one particular class in some or the other way based on their position or their class. So there are different types of selectors. We'll see one by one. One is element selector. It selects all the instances of a given HTML element. If you say, for example, P here, it is applied for all the elements of P which are appearing in that particular document, just same as asterisk character. Among this, we have another, that is universal element selector, which is instead of writing the tag name, we are writing asterisk character. That means it is applied for all the elements of the HTML, meaning that it is applied for the whole HTML document itself. So that is the that's all about element selectors, which is one category of selector. Next selector is grouped selector. We can specify multiple things as a part of the selector. As you can observe in the example, paragraph, division, aside, for all these the common formatting rules are applied. So this writing like this is same as writing it 3 times by using the individual selectors. Like paragraph, the same set of rules, for division same set of rules, and for aside same set of rules. So this way, if you would like to make a common formatting for multiple elements, grouped selectors can be used, which are used to select the multiple things. Then reset or remove the browser defaults. Grouped selectors are used for this purpose, to quickly reset it. The goal of doing this is to reduce the browser inconsistencies such as margin, line height, and font sizes. What we are doing is, we are just including almost all the tags and then writing it with the default settings. That is, we are resetting, doing the resetting, where we are saying margin, padding, border, font size. These all are the things which we require to change the defaults, right? So this way we can use reset. Then another important type of selector is class selector, which allows you to simultaneously target different HTML elements regardless of their position in the document. Here one specific thing that we should remember is, we should use a class as attribute. The value of that is specified in front of the HTML, followed by a period symbol, that is dot symbol. Let me take an example for this. You can just observe here. In style, we have used dot first. This is the class name which we are mentioning for the particular HTML element, and the element having this as a class name will be applied with this particular set of styles. So we'll see which are all the elements which are having this class name as first. So in body section of the web page, if you go, we have 2 such elements, though there are many of them, many tags are used. Among this, we have 2 nodes which are having the class name as first. So this H1, where class name is taken as first, this paragraph where the class name is taken as first, and this paragraph where class name is first. So all of these will appear with this particular style. So when you see the output, you can just make an observation that the reviews is appearing with the italic in brown color. Similarly, the H1 heading is again appearing in which is with the heading as reviews, is appearing in the italics and with the brown color, and this particular paragraph is also appearing in brown and italics. So this way you can apply the same style to multiple elements, even though their type is different, right? One is heading tag, the other one is paragraph. We have a possibility to group the elements based on their class, not only on their name. So you can also specify that only specific HTML elements should be affected by a class. Like if you have multiple paragraphs within a particular document, you would like to apply the style to one particular paragraph only. So you need not have to use a simple selector or element selector where you are specifying P. When you specify P, it will apply for all the paragraphs, but you want to make it to be a specific to one particular occurrence of the element itself. So what we are doing is P dot center is used. So the paragraph which is having a class name as center is only applied with the style specified. So this way the style rule is written inside the style tab, whereas the paragraph should appear with the class attribute having the value as center. So this paragraph will be applied with the style where text alignment is centered. HTML elements can also refer to more than one class. In the example below, you can just observe it is belonging to multiple classes, right? So one is center and the other one is large. So you have a possibility to combine to specify more than one class to a particular HTML as well. So we have another type of selector called as ID selector. So I talked about IDs while talking about the hyperlink references, that is anchor tag also, that is where it's possible to give ID and names for every element of HTML document. We can specify the ID and name. So it allows you to target to one specific element only, and remember that ID stands for identifier. It cannot be identifier name or value of the identifier cannot be repeated for any other elements within a HTML document. It should be unique. So it is applicable for only a specific targeted element only. So usually we precede it with a hash symbol in order to identify it as a ID. So we'll see an example for ID selector here. So you can observe here the style tag hash indicating that it is ID selector. This is the name of the ID, latest comment, and these are the set of rules. And we'll go for the body section of the HTML document where the division is having the ID name as latest comment 1. So it is applicable for only that portion of the HTML where ID name is latest comment. Okay, and that is applied with the style italic and brown. The difference can be visible in the output when you run it. So the difference in ID and class selector. ID selectors are used when referencing a single HTML element, since an ID attribute can only be assigned to a single HTML element and it cannot be repeated, is unique in nature, whereas class selector can be potentially used referencing several related elements. So that is the major difference. So you can use the same class name for multiple elements, but you cannot use a ID to multiple elements. So based on your requirement, you have to use either ID or class selector. So another one is attribute selector. It provides a way to select HTML elements by either the presence of an element or by the value of an attribute. This can be a powerful technique because of uneven support by some of the browsers. Attribute selectors can be a very helpful technique in the styling of hyperlinks and images, because just the presence of them, we don't know, based on the appearance of them, we would like to select the styles. For example, you can just observe this. In a square bracket, we are specifying the attribute name here. Title is attribute name which we use here, right? And these are the properties we have set. In body section, for an image tag, we have mentioned the title. So it is applicable to only such images where title is given as Canada flag. Okay, so you can just observe it is applicable to all the images wherever the title attribute is appearing. So is almost similar to what we have done with the class selector. It is another means through which we can specify the common style for all the images, right? We could have used a class instead of this, can give same the class name, but here we are not bothering about the value of the title. Only the presence of the title attribute makes you to apply that particular rule. Okay, we'll see the rest of the selectors in next video lecture. Thank you.